Hey guys, welcome back. It's another week of Mortgage Matters in Minutes. I'm your host, Brent Rasmussen. Have you ever wondered if you need a mortgage loan commitment? Those are some big words, mortgage loan commitment. And in 2024, every loan that gets accomplished has a mortgage loan commitment in regards to residential real estate. So today we're going to go into that, why it's important you need a mortgage loan commitment, because they are putting you in a better predicament, in a better spot than some other buyers, some other sellers, and other items like that. So let's chat about that. I'm Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialist, lending over 25 years, seen thousands and thousands of mortgage loan commitments. And let's first talk and explain what those are. What is a mortgage loan commitment? Most people know the word pre-approval, and a mortgage loan commitment actually is a step above a pre-approval. And many times I laugh because people read the word approval and they think that means it's done, even though it says pre-approval. Pre-approval is done by the loan officer, but a mortgage loan commitment is done by an underwriter. And what a mortgage loan commitment is we will commit as a institution of lending to commit to this loan as long as you meet certain conditions. The reason why this is so important is a lot of times when you present yourself to as a buyer, as an offer to a seller, you provide a pre-approval. Often when we see maybe a situation that the buyer has a little bit of issues or struggles, you might see in the purchase contract that the seller asks for a loan commitment to show that they've been through underwriting and everything is accomplished. And I've told a lot of realtors through the years that if you are worried, ask for a loan commitment within a certain period of time. Here in Nebraska, we don't have to provide a loan commitment to the seller. I have a friend that lends in Philadelphia, and up in Pennsylvania, they have to provide a copy of the loan commitment to the seller's agent so they could review it so many days after contract to make sure there's no issues. Because sometimes things do come up that either the loan officer didn't know about, the buyer didn't know about, or possibly they weren't disclosed. So there's lots of different kinds of loan commitments. There's the initial loan commitment, there's 2 or 3 loan commitments, and then there's a final loan commitment. A lender is not going to close on a real estate transaction until they have the final loan commitment, which means every item that was needed per those loan guidelines are going to be approved by the rules that were written. So when you refinance your loan, when you buy a home, whether you're an investor that takes out financing, you're a first-time buyer or move-up buyer, every time you obtain a loan, there's going to be a loan commitment in the back end because that allows for non-discriminatory practices. Because if we ever did get audited or some loan goes into a lawsuit, they can come back and look and see what were the steps that were had and were those treated the same as every borrower across the process. And so all that is documented. So when you go through the process of getting a loan, you can always ask for what is on the loan commitment, because that is going to be what you have to supply for finishing up the loan. A loan commitment obviously provides massive financial security because you can tell the seller now before you write your offer, hey, my income, my credit, my down payment, everything that's needed for the loan has been reviewed. The only thing the underwriter needs to see now generally is title insurance or title commitment and an appraisal if one's needed. So it does speed up the process in order for you to get to closing quicker as well, because much of the process is done. I can share with you that a lot of borrowers get very nervous and don't want to go through those next steps because in order to get a loan commitment, we have to get certain initial loan disclosures signed by you, and then all of your information to send to a licensed underwriter for them to review and approve the loan commitment and type in there what is still needed to finish up on the loan. We would love to do this on every single client, but much of the time isn't of the essence, or we don't have enough time to go through a loan commitment because it might take anywhere from 3 to 7 business days, depending on how organized the client is and what information we might need to suffice to start the underwriting process to happen. Good lenders are going to have a very detailed process and are going to have a checklist of what we need. Here in Mortgage Specialists, I can say over 25 years, we're always working to make our process better. But I feel we have a very streamlined process. As long as you follow what we're asking, you're going to get to that finish line with the least amount of stress, the least amount of work. And it's going to feel like, not a lot of work. And most people think getting a loan is like going to the dentist or getting drilled on, or it's not very enjoyable or very much fun. But if you are an organized person, getting a loan commitment is very, very easy. We generally need pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, driver's license, possibly taxes if you're self-employed. So there's not a lot of paperwork that we need to make that happen. But if you want to put your offer ahead of other people's offers, supply a loan commitment when you put in that offer saying, look, I've already went through underwriting, I went through the steps, and I can get your loan and your house closed faster than someone else can that has to start back over on documentation in regards to that. People would have thought in 2024 here that with rates increasing, home values would have gone down. And we're not seeing that. We're still seeing a very competitive market. So people ask me constantly, what can I do to get ahead of the type of market that's out there? And I tell people all the time, get a loan commitment instead of a pre-approval. Or I've had realtors ask me questions and I would turn around and tell them, hey, counter back in your contract with a loan commitment within so many days. So that way, you know, if there's any major issues or problems with the buyer that are going to come up, you know about them in the forefront. Sometimes there's some great loan officers. Sometimes there's not great loan officers. Sometimes there's people with experience and sometimes there's not in a transaction. Just because an individual has a loan officer license or mortgage loan originator license or a real estate license doesn't mean they always have the experience to know all the rules and what possibly could happen along the way. But if you ask and obtain a mortgage loan commitment, that is a document as a commitment to lend as long as you meet those final items that are needed. I hope you learned a lot today about mortgage loan commitments. It's a very interesting industry that we're in. Please ask questions. Please like, subscribe, comment, share this with your friends. We want to get as many people educated properly about mortgage loans and purchasing property in a real estate market in Omaha, Nebraska that we can. I'm Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialist. Call us anytime or reach out to us online at our website at mtg-specialist.com. Have a great rest of your day. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.